there, this is Datila, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Potion. For tonight, I will be reviewing Monday Night Raw, the go-home show to Clash at Castle. Let's talk about that ending. So, the main event on tonight's Raw, was the finals of the Women's Tag Team Title Tournament. It was Io Sky and Dakota Kai versus Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I thought this tournament was for Dakota Kai and Io Sky. You should have seen how surprised I was when Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah won. Now, Aaliyah rolled up Dakota Kai. She won with the roll-up, of all things. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I don't think Dakota Kai was a legal competitor in that match. I think it was Io Sky. So, I don't know. I was kind of confused by this finish because I kind of thought Dakota Kai and Io Sky would win the tag titles, then go on to Clash at Castle and have a winner-take-all match with Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. So, I'm extremely confused by what conspired here tonight with this Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah winning the tag titles. Personally, I am shocked. What about you guys? How do you guys feel about the whole situation? Because I was not expecting that. I don't think anybody was. Because here we all thought this tournament is going to be won by Dakota Kai and Io Sky. It's going to establish legitimacy to the women's tag titles. And here we are with Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah winning the tag titles. So I don't know where we go from here. I mean, there has to be something more. There has to be more to this, right? There has to be. Right? Is this how they rebuilt the women's tag titles? With Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez? I don't know how you feel about that. So, do Sasha and Naomi return at Clash at Castle maybe? And then we get a triple threat women's tag match? So many speculations. I don't know, but I was shocked. I really was by this finish. And I think a lot of people were. I don't think any of us is expecting Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez to win. Incredibly shocking. So, Monday Night Raw kicks off with AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler versus the Judgment Day. Wasn't a bad match. And the thing that I like about this match was when Finn Balor attempted the Styles Clash on Dolph Ziggler, but he countered. But it wasn't meant to be, as Judgment Day ended up winning this, and Damian Priest pinned Dolph Ziggler. Now, honestly, that makes sense because last week Damian Priest lost to Edge, so he needed to get a win back. And so Damian Priest pinning Dolph Ziggler to win this match made a lot of sense, if you ask me. Then it goes backstage to Edge coming out of a car. And so Judgment Day ends up cutting a promo. And Finn Balor was talking about how he's tired of these so-called legends getting documentaries, A&E specials. And he says that okay, match it was. You're still copying Master Yoda here. And so he's talking about the Rey Mysterio on the Edge, how they got A&E documentaries and specials. And Priest says that he wants to beat Edge. He's a man of his word. He doesn't want his wife, friends, he wants to finish what he started, basically. That's what he's saying. And then Edge comes out and interrupts him and says that Damian Priest makes valid points. However, he reminds him that it is 2022. So both him and Edge, him and Beth Phoenix wear the pants because, she's a strong woman. And he says that Damian Priest will probably be single for the rest of his life. The first hour was rough to watch. Felt like Bruce Pritchard booked this. He has copied Master Yoda for life. I prefer Darth Vader over Master Yoda, but that's just my personal preference. But good to know. Ray Wyatt in talks to return to WWE. That's believable. So Edge makes a reference to how like Judgment Day is angry and emo and they couldn't score tickets to the My Chemical Romance. First of all, I have to say, I think the only My Chemical Romance song I've heard has been Helena. But I was never a huge fan of My Chemical Romance. You know, I didn't go through that phase in high school. I wasn't a scene kid, but I know who My Chemical Romance is. What about you guys? Are you guys scene kids? Did you guys listen to My Chemical Romance? And if you did, what is your favorite My Chemical Romance song? And any recommendations, just in case. So Edge says how the learning tree didn't pay attention. Who listens to My Chemical Romance? I don't know. That's what Edge was saying. And the learning tree kind of reminds me of Brian Myers' learning tree from Impact Wrestling. That was hilarious. That was a hilarious segment. And so the Mysterios come out and they whack Judgment Day with candlesticks. It's Dominic, who is looking more like Eddie Guerrero with that mullet, I would say. And of course his dad, Dominic. His dad, Ray. So they come out with candlesticks, and there's this one part where like Dominic is kind of staring at Rhea. Obviously he can't hit her because WWE doesn't do intergender matches. And so she's trying to like take the candlestick from him, which she kind of does. And she's getting ready to like hit him. And so then Ray and Edge enter the ring and she's trying to fight them. But of course, like Priest and Balor like rescue her before anything can happen. So I actually really like that. I thought it was pretty cool. I know they're not going to do it in their gender wrestling, but just the fact that they're teasing it, it's pretty cool. So then we got Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Bianca Belair versus local competitors. I think their names were Dani Moe, Kay Sparks, and Katie Ark. Why we got this match, I don't know, but Asuka, Alexa, and Bianca Belair win by submission. So little by little, I think we should say Dom is really Eddie's son. Funny how he was featured in the A&E WWE rival show on Eddie and Ray. Right? Well, they did have that whole custody of Dominic ladder match in 2005, so it only makes sense. So after the match, Bianca starts talking about how like Damage Control can try to run the show, and they're gonna take control at Clash at Castle. I mean, I get what they were trying to do, like establish momentum heading into Clash at Castle, but like, did they really need to face random jobbers? We got a WWE main event match on Raw. Yeah, we did. You know, I've always said the go home shows to pay-per-views are supposed to hype you up for the pay-per-view. So far, that did not happen with this. All right, so then we get a Miz segment. We actually got plenty of Miz segments throughout Raw. He doesn't want to talk about what happened to him after Dexter Lumis kidnapped him. But he's really. I know he's really Ray's son. I was just saying. Like, I know that was his whole storyline. All right. So, like, I really kind of don't like this storyline with the Miz. Triple H running creative, and still WWE doesn't know how to book a show with him running creative. I kind of really didn't like what they were trying to imply with the Miz, like that something happened to him. He doesn't want to talk about it. I kind of don't like that implication, unless I don't know. I mean, I don't know what exactly they're implying, but you know, I personally don't like it because I feel like, okay, you know, some people actually go through like traumatic stuff and they really don't want to talk about it. And I really just feel like this storyline is not necessary. A go home show. Yeah, and this is a go home show to Clash at Castle. It's supposed to get you excited. So he's basically like refusing to talk about what happened, and Dexter Lumis is not in jail because the Miz doesn't want to talk about what happened. We don't know what happened. So, as we all know, they were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Who do we all know that is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? Well, okay, besides Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, okay? She was not going to come out on Raw, okay? I know we were in her hometown, but she's not the only one person from Pittsburgh. It was none other than WWE Hall of Famer, the Olympic gold medalist himself, Kurt Angle. So he basically comes out and like cuts a small little promo. How he was talking about how it was great to be back in his hometown. But before he can finish, he's interrupted by Alpha Academy. If you ask me, I actually really like that they interrupted, because if Kurt Angle was a couple of years younger, I would have loved to seen him go at it against Chad Gable. So Master Gable, as he likes to call himself, he says that Kurt was a personal hero of his and his story motivated him. And he says that Kurt won a gold medal. But then Kurt corrects him and says he won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck, which we all know because we've been told that so many times over the years. It's like ingrained in our memories. And so the whole purpose of the storyline was like Chad Gable was trying to offer Kurt a spot in Alpha Academy for one night to change the world. But Kurt passes on the offer and he starts to say, it's true, it's damn true. But Gable shoots him before he can even finish. And they get into a shoe off. They go, shh, shh, which I thought was like so hilarious. It was like one of the funniest things I've seen. It kind of reminds me of an Impact where Jay Lethal and Ric Flair got into a woo off. That was just as hilarious. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you check it out. It's hilarious. But they get into a shoe off. I didn't like the segment. Awful stop giving Chetty Mike. He's going to have a way heat. I thought it was pretty funny. But the Street Profits come out to try to help Kurt Angle. And they said if you mess with Kurt, that means you want to get hurt. And so this leads into a match with Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. A stipulation is that if Alpha Academy beats Street Profits, Kurt Angle joins Alpha Academy and will do as Master Gable says. That shoe off made me want to puke. Really? I actually liked it. I didn't mind it. So the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy was a decent match. It's the first time, and commentary makes note that it's the first time in a while that the Street Profits team or have a match as a team, I should say. I already know SmackDown is pre-taped. I knew that since last week that was pre-taped. They were taped 2 episodes of SmackDown because they're leaving for Clash at Castle. So, like, I love the fact that, like, after Gable put Montez Ford in an ankle lock, Montez Ford reverses it and puts Gable in an ankle lock. That was really, really cool. Another cool spot in this match was when Dawkins, like Otis is on the outside. And freaking Dawkins just comes and launches Otis into the announce table. Out of nowhere. I thought it was a pretty cool spot. And then, like, you guys know that Street Profits always celebrate with the cup. It's so hilarious that Kurt Angle, like, he brings out milk to celebrate. Oh, I absolutely love that they did that. That was so hilarious. Even more hilarious what happens in the segment later, but before we get to that, we had a Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins interview. So this was freaking amazing. It was a good match, but how many times have we seen them go at it? Yeah, we've seen them go at it plenty of times. All right. So the biggest talking points of this interview, I have to say. First of all, Riddle is no longer just Riddle. He's Matt Riddle now. He got his name back. And so Rollins tells Riddle he's going to put him on the shelf next to Cody Rhodes. And then he's going to move on to the title scene. Matt Riddle says he's going to prove that there's only one man in his marriage, and that's Becky. I was like, oh my God, he went there. Riddle throws it back, though. Rollins throws it back. He throws it back hard. He says, yo, Riddle, you're still here? You want to talk about my family? Let's talk about your family. Oh, wait, you ain't got one because your wife divorced you and took your kids and they don't want to see your bitch ass anymore. Oh, my mic. That's a mic drop. Like, that was Vince McMahon name edit has finally come to an end. Thank God. Yes. And I was like, holy smokes, that's not PG. The commentary even apologized for the language, but that promo was incredible. I actually really, really like that promo. Like, that I like it when it's authentic like that, when they blur the lines. I don't know if that was scripted or totally off scripted, but dang, that was incredible. And I really like that. I really like that. That was probably the best part of Raw. And honestly, they hyped me up for their match with this segment alone. So I cannot wait. That like, first of all, you don't talk about it someone's family. You really don't. Number two, I think Seth Rollins is going to win this just because I feel like he already lost his feud with Cody. I don't think he is going to lose to Riddle. Great this was. Both Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins almost fought in a parking lot hours before the show. Yes, that's true. And so before the show started, apparently Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins were in a parking lot fighting. I don't know about you guys, but ever since Triple H became in charge of creative, it seems like parking lots aren't safe anymore. A lot of stuff happens in parking lots. Did he bring up the NXT parking lot with him? Was Triple H's parking lots are like deadly. I would hate to be in a Triple H parking lot. Then we have the almighty Bobby Lashley versus The Miz. This is decent. I mean, Lashley was dominating The Miz at first until Ciampa like distracted him, and like The Miz ends up losing this because like during the match he looks up into the crowd and sees Dexter Lumis, but Ciampa can't see him, so like that allows Lashley to put Miz into the Hurt Lock, and so he wins by submission. All right, so then we go backstage. And Edge hands Kurt Angle these white cards. Oh my god, this was hilarious. I actually like this. It was such a little throwback to when Edge did this the first time. And like it has all these messages at the end. And like when he first hands it to Kurt, he's like, "Oh no, I'm not falling for this again." And he flips it around. He's like, "Oh, it's blank." But what he doesn't see is that the rest of them have stuff on it. And that was so hilarious. And then he shows it to Rey Mysterio, and Rey is just like laughing because it says that he still sucks. And Kurt finally sees what it says, and like he goes and he tries to find Edge. I really wish they would have shown what happened afterwards. But that segment was hilarious. Like I really enjoyed it. And Michael 10159 says, "Throwback to my childhood with that segment with Edge and Kurt, right? That was hilarious." So then Rey asks Dom to be his sub, and he chooses Edge to be his partner and asks Dom to basically be in his corner. I feel like they're slowly planting the seeds of Dominic turning on his dad, because like he's been getting beat up by Rhea. His dad is choosing Edge over him instead of his family. I mean, the storyline writes itself. At least Edge didn't say Kurt still has obstacles, right? The storyline, in my opinion, writes itself, and it's just up to WWE to execute it. The formula is there. I mean, I think Dom's gonna turn on his dad and Edge, and I think his dad and Dom. I think that Dom and his dad are gonna feud. If it doesn't turn on him, then this whole thing is like completely pointless. So we get a Bloodline segment. And that includes Sami Zayn. So they come out to the ring, and they talk about how they're going to celebrate Roman's 2-year championship celebration. You know that's going to go wrong. Celebrations, contract signings, and weddings in WWE always end horribly. And Sami Zayn says that he is a master of the ceremony chosen by Roman. And like Jey Uso looks at Sami with this face like what are you talking about? Yeah, I think Dom is joining Judgment Day. Yeah, it's definitely going to happen at Clash at Castle. If it doesn't happen at Clash at Castle, it might not happen. So then, like, he starts talking about how the Bloodline runs Raw. Then Kevin Owens interferes. And Kevin Owens says the Bloodline doesn't run Raw. He does. And so, like, the Usos ask Sami, is this your boy? Is this your boy? Explain things to him. KO tells Sami that he's genuinely sad that he has forgotten that he is one of the greatest in-ring performers, and now he is a Bloodline's personal clown. He still considers him a best friend and is really sad to see what he has become, and he needs to look himself in the mirror. So I actually really like that. And, like, Sami Zayn says that the Bloodline likes him, that Jimmy likes him, and Jay's working on it, and that Roman likes him. So this leads into a match between Jey Uso and Kevin Owens. Now, I'd say, I think they're building up to the Bloodline turning on Sami Zayn, especially because of what happened. And I think eventually Sami Zayn and KO are going to reunite to become a tag team and win the tag titles from the Usos. So Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens wasn't a bad match. But the most notable part, and something that I say is going to be a catalyst for the Usos turning on Sami Zayn, was so like Jay calls for Jimmy and Sami to get chairs. And yep, Owens and Sami are going to team and face the Usos for the tag titles. Yeah, definitely. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn should have already been tag champions. Probably way back, what was that, 2017? When they aligned themselves for the first time. They were doing the whole yep thing with Bryan and Shane McMahon. They should have won the tag titles then, but they didn't. So, like, Jimmy Uso's distracting the ref, and Sami Zayn is supposed to hit KO with the chair, but he hesitates. I mean, KO is still Sami's best friend. And so, like, Jay asks what happened, and, like, pretty much Kevin Owens wins this match. So, the Bloodline is not going to be happy with Sami Zayn. And the fact that they're doing a celebration on Friday, I think that's key word where they're going to turn on Sami Zayn. They are. And if they turn on Sami Zayn, I wonder if Sami Zayn would try to get back at them by maybe costing Roman his match against Drew McIntyre. I mean, it's a long shot. I know it is. But maybe that'll happen. I'm just throwing that out there. It's just pure speculation. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Then we get a quick Johnny Gargano segment. He's basically talking about how he's happy. He was happy to hear the Johnny wrestling chants. And he's excited to be back in the ring after being away for 9 months. Then he gets interrupted by Austin Theory, who tells him that why didn't he call him when he became U.S. champion or won the Money in the Bank? And he tells him because he was jealous. And he tells him that Austin tells Gargano that it's lonely at the top, and he welcomes him to Monday Night Raw. So I'm very intrigued and curious to see what they're doing with Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano. I mean, is Johnny Gargano going to come into this as a heel? Because I don't think they're going to turn Austin Theory face. So very intrigued by that. And I'm very curious to see where they go. And so the main event was none other than finals of the women's tag title tournament. It was Io Sky and Dakota Kai versus Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez. I talked about this briefly in the beginning, but I'm going to talk about it again. For those of you that missed the beginning. I don't think any of us were expecting Dakota Kai were expecting Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez to win this tournament. I think we all had our money on Io Sky and Dakota Kai. At least I did. And I don't know where they're going to do with this, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Dakota Kai was a legal competitor. I think it was Io Sky. Yet Aaliyah rolled up Dakota Kai and got the pin. So awful. Io and Dakota should have. That's what I thought. That's what we all thought. They thought that Io and Dakota were going to win this. I thought this tournament was for them. But no. I was personally shocked. But what do you guys feel like? What did you guys think of this? So I thought that Io Sky and Dakota Kai were going to win, and we were going to have a winner-take-all match at Clash at Castle, but that's not happening. So pretty shocked by this. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, maybe Sasha and Naomi return at Clash at Castle, and then we get a triple threat women's tag title match for the tag titles. I don't know. So I guess we just got to wait and see. Maybe have some type of faith in Triple H. I mean, this is Vince McMahon style booking here. Aaliyah's terrible and Raquel will make smile more. We just put in a poster for Colgate with the title. See those pearly whites. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know what happened with this, but, I mean, could be worse, right? Could be. I mean, Dana Brooke and Tamina could have won them. So, this is the go-home show to Monday Night Raw. To Clash at Castle. It's supposed to get you excited for the pay-per-view. But it really didn't do its job at getting me excited. It didn't. The only thing I really liked was the whole Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle thing, because that was freaking amazing. But aside from that, nothing really got me excited. If this would have just been a regular Monday Night Raw and not the go-home show, I probably would have given this a 7. But Sasha and Naomi will be next to win those titles. But because it's the go-home show, I got to give this a 6 out of 10. Michael 101591 also gives this a 6 out of 10. Because, like I said, the purpose of the go-home show is to sell you the pay-per-view on this weekend. This Raw didn't sell me the pay-per-view. It sold me the Rollins Riddle match, but aside from that, not really. But, so I did go to Power Morphicon this past weekend. And if you haven't seen my stuff from Power Morphicon, you should go and check it out. They revealed the cast of the new season Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. So I have that up. Plus, they had when the Power Rangers Beast Morphers cast talked about Austin St. John. I have that up. So I have little clips of Power Morphicon. I am trying to put together like a little compilation of Morphicon. If it's not out tomorrow, I'll try to be out by Thursday, the latest. But I just want to say that this weekend was. Did I meet anybody at Power Morphicon? Yes, I did actually. I met. If you guys watch Power Rangers Dino Fury, I did meet Tessa Rao, who plays Izzy Garcia, the current Green Dino Fury Ranger. And I don't know if you guys are fans of Mystic Force, but I did meet Richard Brancancino, I think that's how you say his last name, who played Xander Bailey, the Green Mystic Force Ranger. And I did talk to Campbell Cooley, who was the voice of Scrossel and Beast Morphers, and is the current voice of. He's one of the current voice actors in this season. So he was actually pretty cool. He actually remembered me because I actually met him at Pasadena Comic Con earlier this year in January, and like he remembered me. So I thought that was pretty cool. Most people don't. Most people don't really remember you, and he remembered me, so I thought that was really, really cool. All right, but with that being said, thank you. I heard JDF is retiring from the show. Yes, he is. He didn't officially say, I'm retiring and stuff, but he did say that it was time for him to move on from Power Rangers. And so it's time for him to get darker. I have a video up on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Oh, okay. So Campbell Cooley was Slyther in Power Rangers Dino Fury. His name totally slipped my mind. But yeah, so like I said, if you're interested in seeing what for Morphicon, did you meet JDF? Did I meet JDF? I have met JDF twice before. I did not meet him at Morphicon because his line was long. But I did meet him for the first time ever at San Diego Comic-Con in 2017. And then I met him again last year when he did a signing here at a small little comic book store. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuous support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or I release a new video. And like I said, if you like Power Rangers, I did go to Power Morphicon. Feel free to check out some of my stuff. I am going to put together a compilation. If it's not out tomorrow, probably Thursday the latest. And you guys have been freaking more phenomenal. You guys gave me my highest views ever watching my Power Morphicon stuff. So thank you guys all so much. That means a lot to me from the bottom of my heart. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on Wednesday after AEW Dynamite, the go home show to All Out. Bye.